Okay guys, today we are going to be rebuilding a carburetor and cleaning a fuel tank on a Yamaha ef2600 generator. First thing we're going to do is take the two flathead screws out, remove the air filter cover. Then we've got two 10mm nuts inside. Here, two 10mm nuts inside. And then there's one 10mm bolt down bottom. Now with a pair of pliers, we're going to remove this hose clamp here and pull the fuel line off, and we're going to drain the tank. Now the fuel flow on this is horrible, so we're going to want to make sure we clean out this petcock. I'm going to use an air hose to blow backwards through it. That didn't really work, so I'm going to have to remove the petcock. It looks like a 14mm wrench. You're going to just break the nut free, and then the whole thing unscrews out of it, so you have to just spin the whole thing out. Horrible gas. That drained out much faster. We'll be putting a new petcock on. I'll put that in the description below, as well as the carburetor. If I can find it on Amazon, I'll list it in the description below where you can just put a new one on. Alright, but right now we're going to go ahead and pull this out. It's stuck on there, so I'm going to have to tap on it with something heavy. So we're just going to tap on it. It broke free. Real easy. And you pull it all the way out gently. And then you're going to just turn and pull that out, and then pull the spring out. Then at 12mm, you're going to take the bottom bolt off. Now this bowl is stuck on there. We're going to have to tap it with a ratchet too to get it to break free. Then pull the bowl off. Now with a pair of needle nose, we're going to pull this pin out and remove the float and the needle valve. It's hard to see, but this has got a flat section on it. This will only come out one way. This side right here has got the flat section on it. You have to grab that flat section out and pull it out. Pull the float and the needle valve out. Needle valve is stuck. You have to be gentle and just try to work it out. Do not break it. Alright, now we're going to clean it. We're going to spray through this hole. We're going to spray through this hole. And we're going to spray through these two in that hole. These three holes here. We're also going to poke them with a wire. The wire I use is off an end of an old kill cable. But if you pull one out of your wire wheel with a pair of pliers, that works perfect. Now that I've poked them all out with the wire, I'm going to spray through each and every one of these little holes with carb cleaner until they're clean and spray through good. Alright, once you've gotten everything nice and clean and there's no dirt and anything, you've got it all nice and clean, then we're going to put it back together. We're going to put the float back in. Needle valve right down into the hole and float back in. You will hold the flat side of the pin and then stick it back through the hole. Obviously make sure everything's clean, and then you're going to make sure you clean out your bowl really well. You're going to stick it back on. The drain is going to go away from the fuel inlet. Make sure your bowl bolt is very clean. Install it. Make sure you've got that fiber washer underneath it to seal it. Make sure you've got the bowl underneath the bowl. That rubber washer is still in the carburetor too. Don't take it out. Leave it in there. It'll be fine. If it breaks, you got to get a new one. I'll look those parts up as well. Now we're going to take our air hose and we're going to blow out our tank. Remove this thing here. It's got a line up and it comes right out. There you go. And you're going to want to blow all the bad gas and debris. Just get it all blown out. Make sure there's no water or nothing in it. If it has tar in the bottom of there, it's been sitting a long time. You got to get that cleaned out. I found that if you use diesel fuel, it'll help break it up. Let it soak overnight, and then really try to clean it out. We actually put a rag on the end of a cable. It's an inner cable to a throttle shift cable on a boat. And we put a rag on it. We put it in the drill and we run it through the tank when it's really bad, and it scrubs it out. We call it the Tank Swab 3000. But just make sure your tank's nice and clean in there. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and put on the new petcock. We're going to stick it right up in there, and then just stick it right up in there and then just screw it in place Once you get it to where it snugs up a little bit, you're going to hold this so it doesn't turn, and you're going to tighten just the knot, and just a little bit, man. These snap very easy. You're just going to snug it up good. Clean your fuel line out, replace it if necessary. This one's nice and flexible. It's not bad, so I'm just going to put it back on. I sprayed it out with more carb cleaner. Reinstall the throttle arm and throttle spring to the throttle. Now we're going to slide this into position. And then we're going to push on the fuel line and reclamp it. Then reinstall your air filter assembly. And then this goes on. And then two 10mm nuts. And 10mm bolt goes down on the bottom here. And then stab your ventilation hose back into the back of this where the hole is. Like that. Put your air filter. This is a spark arrestor. It keeps the backfiring from burning out your air filter. Then your air filter cover with the two flatheads. Alright, once you've got all that assembled, you put gas in it, gas cap on it, choke it, and freaking fire it up. It works free, right? Yeah. I never did check the throttle arms. You always want to check the throttle arms. Like, see, these are frozen. I'm going to have to oil these and free them up. Even an expert mechanic fucks up and has to take everything back apart so they can free up the freaking linkages they never checked. So make sure you use a lot of oil on them. They're just seized up from being tarred up and everything. And you know, get them broken free gently, slowly, get them working to where they're nice and loose. Yeah, just get it nice and smooth. It took a while. The tar was built up in it. You just got to get it nice and smooth and loose in there. And then put it all back together again. You know how the saying goes, can't do it right the first time, do it 10 times. Alright guys, any of the parts I need to use in this to get this job done, anything you may need to use in this, I'll put in the description below. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe, show me a little support. Today's t-shirt will also be in the description below. If you guys got a t-shirt you want me to wear, mail it to me. Peace.